You mentioned something about the base, that Rod didn't talk a lot about the base. And the way I understood is he doesn't talk about it because very few people can be confident enough in their exact precise birth time to be able to go that deep in the level. And so for people who are watching, when you look at your chart, the chart will list your gate with a decimal point of the line. And then it's possible to extend that line out. So after the line comes the color, and then there's another decimal, and then there's the tone. And then underneath the tone is what's called the base. And there's 6 lines, 6 colors, 6 tones, and 5 bases.
And what you're dividing there is time. Again, right. I Ching is a clock. So you're dividing the time, and because nothing is perfect in between 360 degrees, because you divide 360 degrees by 64, you get 5.626, and so on and so forth. So that's how you can decipher that every week, kind of like 5 days, 0.626, we have a new gate. And then within that gate, we divide it in 6, and you get like more or less a day of a line, and so on and so forth. So when you have a difference of 8 minutes, which is the base, and you're not so correct, yes, your base is going to be different. And the base is something that you cannot really and this is the reason why I'm so interested in the base, because the base is as the word says, is the origin of everything. Is the moment that the crystal got into, the neutrino got into the crystal and really made everything happen. And it's the only thing that is so connected to the soul. I mean, I know Ra didn't want to talk about mysticism, because he had some kind of aversion, but he's actually talking about the soul with the base, and you cannot change the base. You will always have the same base. And this, when I found this, I was like,
I heard that.
So beautiful. Yeah, so beautiful, because that means,
Can you explain that a little bit more? Because, you're saying that quickly. So like, I've heard that, but for other people.
Well, I was about to explain. So what is the most beautiful thing is this, is like, we are told, according to any religion, that we come from source. So source could be God, could be Christ, could be the Virgin, could be whatever. It doesn't matter what the name is, but there is some sort of force, life force, that is connecting us together, right? Mm-hmm. In heaven, in hell, in the ether, it doesn't matter. We get so caught up with words. But the beautiful thing is that the base in itself, when you define it, you go down, down, down to the very basic of the whole thing. So you realize that if you cannot change your base ever, that means that that's part of the spirit. So spirit is everything. It's like in the Tao is called Wu Ji. It's nothing, emptiness, Buddhism. And then when it splits into the yin and yang, the Tai Chi, then we're all like broken. And that base is that crystal that it breaks, and it carries your essence forever. And so this is the evolutionary path that we all have. And that's why we meet different conditions at different times when we land in our families, our gender, our historical moments. This is really what defines. So it's beautiful, because the base is about positioning and orientation. So your base is going to tell you, where is your vibration going? It's very complex. It's like, and I'm able to connect all these things because that's what I do all the time. But basically what it is like, when you get to see what your base is, like on base 1, it makes sense to me, many things. And then I cannot tweak it, because you see what we try to do with human design sometimes is like, we don't like our type. We don't like our authority, and we try to tweak it, like everything, until we surrender one day and we say, oh, maybe that S and A has a point. After
authority.
I did it for 3 years. I was like, I'm not going to do the emotional thing. I don't want to wait. And then I would test. And now it's like, of course, even any kind of decisions, I have to wait. And I just do it in a way that is very self-inquiry. I put the question out there, I let it be, then I come back on and off and see how it feels, because it's very emotional. How does it feel, this thing? How would it feel to be like that? How would it feel to go back to Colombia? How would it feel? And then all of a sudden, boom, it comes and it goes, okay, I'm leaving, like that. But it took me a while, because as a manifestor, I want to do everything now my way or the highway. And I have the 2838. So it's absolutely my way or the highway.